by what? Because all we had now was just alpha. So we said, it's that alpha has taken over. And then we sent a second set in July, and then we got back 2 delta. So, that's interesting. We now have 3 delta in Antigua. And then later in July, we got 3 gamma. First time we get in gamma. And we got 5 delta. So we begin to have some closer look at delta. And then between July and August, of 10 samples, we got 1 alpha and 9 delta. So you say, wow, this looks like serious business. And then the last set we got, which was sometime last week, we sent 21 samples. And 4 of them were inconclusive, and I soon get back to the reasons for that. Or if we have the time, we can do that later.
Sure.
And 17 of them were all delta. And I can tell you, I opened that spreadsheet while I was having breakfast one morning. And as I opened it, for some strange reason, I don't know because I was having breakfast, my mind went back to when I was about 6 or 7 years old, begging my grandmother for some food, and suddenly the earth moved. It was an earthquake. My first experience with an earthquake.
Antigua
The earth
Newsroom.
moved, and I stood still. And that's somewhat like what happened on that morning when I look at the data. If you
So
can
you
go
got
back,
a tectonic shock from seeing the
something like that. If you can go back to that chart, because what it says is that when you look at the numbers that we have had a total of 59, and it could in fact be more because there were 6 unknown. In other words, they didn't have enough material, and the material was not of high enough quality. And there were 2 that were likely to be delta, but they weren't 100% certain, about 98 or so percent certain. So I left those out.
Yes.
But of the 59 that were conclusive, 34 of them, or 58% of them were delta. And 20 or 34% of them were alpha, with 3 and 2 and 5% being respectively beta and gamma. So what it says to us
This is
that
Antigua
in simple
Newsroom.
language, not only are the 4 variants of concern here, but delta has taken over Antigua and Barbuda.